Why do we have to learn this? Why communicate an object's motion? Let's say I told you that I buried $10 million in a chest nearby. Go find the money. Can you do it? Probably not. Now let's say I give you a little bit more specific instructions. I told you that you have to drive 2 miles to get to the money. Can you do it yet? What if I told you I meant drive 2 miles from the front door of my school to get the money? That's obviously a lot more clear, right? You could easily find the $10 million chest. Well, if you could, that's amazing, but I couldn't. That's not specific enough for me. I need specifics so I know exactly where to go and exactly where to look. What if I said the center of the chest is exactly 947.32 meters from the school's flagpole? Could you be expected to find the money then? Even that, as descriptive as it is still a little on the vague side. Do I turn left? Do I turn right? Do I go backwards? Where is this 947.32 meters? Is it exactly in a straight line? Do I have to make some kind of curvy path? Now let's say you're stopped by a police officer and the officer says you're going too fast. And you say, how fast was I going? How fast is too fast? And the officer says too fast is too fast and you were going too fast. How do we communicate how fast is too fast? How do we determine whether someone is moving too fast? We have to have a set vocabulary when we're discussing motion. Here's another one. You receive a notice on your phone saying that there is a tornado. What would you want to know about the tornado in order to determine whether and when you should take cover? Don't you need to know how fast the tornado is moving or in what direction? Is it headed towards you? Is it headed away from you? If it's headed away from you, who cares? Not who cares, but, you know. We need a common language, and physics is about two things, determining what happened and being able to communicate what happened. By the end of this course, I need you to be able to get those thoughts in your brain, because you already have this information up there. You've lived in this world for 14, 15, 16, 18 years. You know physics already. What this class is going to be a lot of is communicating. And if you can communicate properly, then you can make predictions on what will happen. Predicting what will happen and being able to communicate what will happen. The key is that we need to be able to understand something and then be able to communicate it. To understand, we need to put words to our thoughts. To communicate, we need a common language that we all understand. As you go through this video and I stumble over my words and I misread things and weird things happen, you may be thinking to yourself, this guy is a really bad communicator, and that's fine. But when I'm talking about physics or when I'm talking about things happening, there's a very specific vocabulary that I'm using. And that very specific vocabulary that I use is to communicate exactly what has happened or what is happening in any given situation. So listen out for very specifics, like when I say an object's speed is blah, blah, blah. An object's velocity is blah, blah, blah. Even though speed and velocity use that same V symbol, they mean very different things, and they will have very different outcomes if you use the predictions with the wrong version. They both tell you how fast something is going. They're both measured in meters per second, but they are different quantities. And it's important to understand that, and important to understand that your vocabulary has to be on point.